Good morning and welcome to Exploring the Ka with host Ra Castaldo. And it's Mother's Day, so I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And I lost my mother actually a few weeks after Mother's Day in 2011. Mother's Day was like the last holiday and gift that I was able to give her. So it's very special to me. Not such the holiday, just this time of year. And I love you, Mom. If you're out there somewhere in the universe and you hear me, I love you. And today, let's switch topics a little bit. And it's Sunday morning, Mother's Day, and I'm about to leave for work in 5 minutes. So I wanted to touch on, Friday's show that I did with Spiral Radio was pretty cool. Frank Jacob, who's director, producer for Packing for Mars and other films, like docu-films. He's a cool guy and he's got some knowledge and he's done a lot of research, so he definitely makes for a cool interview, so you guys want to check that out. It's on my website. It's on Podomatic for Spiral Radio. You can find links on Facebook, on a lot of places. So iTunes, I got everything on iTunes. So just type in Spiral Radio. So today, I wanted to talk about the root races and the different root races and what the root races are. I'm gonna have to elaborate on a future video, but the part that I wanted to focus on is the root races and the mysterious ones that may have had 3 eyes and 4 arms, and maybe what was the prototype to the statues and the depictions that you see nowadays of ancient Hindu gods having multiple arms. And I really feel that's where this came from, and possibly the 3rd root race, us being the 5th root race. And now this is cycles. These are catastrophes that happen, and the world was almost restarted a few times. So during all of this, there are said to be 5 root races, us being the 5th, and it's said that the 4th Atlantean race were Cyclops. And I'm gonna do a future video podcast on this topic with the Cyclops, because these are titans. These are a race of giants, and they're our Cyclopean remnants, if you want to say, artifacts and fossils that are left over on this earth. And we'll get into that later, but before we became a human being, and became symmetrical in this 5th root race, there were, other beings like this legend of the Cyclops. And to all occultists, most occultists and spiritualists, that believe, they believe that like we evolved spiritually, and this physical plane runs parallel to that, like it'll evolve with it. So the same thing happens with our body, like that, like I'm saying. So like if we no longer are using psychic abilities, basically our physical body will respond. So us having being the 5th race and having the pineal gland is proof that once there was a 3rd eye there. And it's like remnants of it, and us being no longer activated as like a 3rd eye, like everybody has a full power of their 3rd eye. That thus, like, less psychic powers means it will be less prominent on the physical body, you know. So I really feel that's basically what I want to talk about. How, you know, these basically you could say it's almost like the pineal gland has petrified in a way. You know, I think that basically, you know, this third root race that is said to have had 3 eyes and 4 arms, they were also hermaphrodites. And, you know, this is probably the esoteric gods of India. And, you know, these 4-armed creatures in the early days, they were hermaphrodites with 1 head, 3 eyes, and, you know, they could use, like, almost their eyes, they could see like what's coming at them and behind them. So the 3rd eye was said to possibly have been behind the head even. And when the 4th root race was at its middle age of growth, that the inner vision had to be awakened and acquired by like artificial stimuli. And this process was known to the old sages and shaman. And, you know, the 3rd eye likewise getting gradually petrified. And you could find this even talked about in The Secret Doctrine with Madame Blavatsky. Even some people think she was a Satanist. I take out some of her opinions and views that are in the book, but the info is really amazing, because soon when this 3rd eye petrified, it disappeared. And that's why we have the pineal gland inside. It's like, you know, remnants of the past, you know. And I think the double face of having the face in front and the face in back became one face, and the eye was put deep into the head, behind the hair, you know, buried underneath the hair. And, you know, like during like what you would call like spirit trances and leaving, you know, going astrally and going through, you know, these experiences, I would say that that's when it starts to swell and expand, and you can have use of it. But what they call, like the Hindus, the inner sight or the Deva eye, you know, it mostly doesn't exist anymore for most men. And the 3rd eye has been pretty much dead. And there's a witness to its, you know, amazing existence, and that's the pineal gland. And, you know, for the, you know, these 4-armed men, you know, these are who the Hindu gods are for sure. And it's said that they were from the 3rd root race. And this human eye is such a mystery, because it's like within our lives, you know, this 3rd eye, I feel if it's not, or at least if your spirituality is not awakened within a lifetime, then the body develops cancers and certain things that will, you know, it'll show on your physical plane and in your physical body. And I'm gonna say Happy Mother's Day once again, and spiral